What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a good day. Got a little bit of an earlier stream going today because I wanted to catch some portions of this move. And I tried to go as live as early as I could. We are a little late to the party, but still worth talking about nonetheless. As you can see, I had this box already drawn out, and we already got the first bounce. All right, so unfortunately, we're a moment behind where it actually happened, but there is still some more stuff that could happen here. So we're live, and we'll talk about it in just a moment. Let's get the music bumping. Right. Cool, there we go. All right, all right. So, cool. Preezy with number 1. Very nice. How's it going, man? Dang, though I had a chance. Good job. Hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah, Preezy got it. First like, though. Nice. Rick, what's going on? Sadu, yeah, you're like 5th, man. 4th. Yeah, you lost your crown, bro. You lost your streak. You had it going there. It was good. I got you on that music. Here it is. The Dancing Doge, I'm gonna see if I can get that during this stream. I didn't have time to do it before. What's up, Jonathan? Dr. Derbs, what's up? You bought? Awesome. And guys, if you were in the Discord group, you already caught this earlier. We've already been talking about it. And I'm about to share my screen just so you can see. So let me go ahead and do that now. So. There we go. Cool. All right, so as we can see, guys, this is... this area where this white box is was the dip zone that we've been talking about today. I tried to go live as soon as I could, so we could actually discuss buying that dip. And unfortunately, the first little portion of that bounce just hit. All right, but that does not mean that this dip is over. But, you know, that 1 cent opportunity right there just happened within the last 5 minutes before I could really get going. So, that is not to say, like I said, that this is over. It still could come back down. So, and it's very likely that it does, and that we then get another deeper dip buy in this white box here. And just in case you can't really see these numbers, between 28.30-ish and 30 cents was the dip buy zone. You can see we did touch 29.93. All right, and so that's the first expected bounce. Now, if we're weak here, we will continue to fall, and we'll get another chance here. So don't think you completely missed it. But I would say anywhere in between kind of this 30 cent range and this 28 cent range is a good time to just kind of maybe think that we might get a higher bounce here and take a little chance, because this is support, and we could get a bounce back up to like 34. So we might be able to get like 2 or 3 cents off this move here overall. But that 29.93 little bottom we just hit really fast, literally like 5 minutes ago. That was kind of the spot. Actually, it wasn't 5 minutes ago. It was a little bit longer than that. Let's see. The Master Duder. What's up, Chazman Dude? Doge Noodle, what's going on? Dr. Derbs, what's up? Welcome. Yeah, the like to view ratio, very important. Appreciate the support, guys. Let's see. Roar Nation, what's going on? Rick the Whale, of course. Bobby, what's going on, man? Thank you, Sadu. New shirt. I'm experimenting with polos now, and so far so good. This is the last dip. These will be holding positions, so don't hesitate anywhere in the 20s. That is very likely. Chilling, getting that knowledge. Good. By the way, Josiah, I've got your shirt right there. So whenever you buy it at that spot I told you, I will be able to ship it out to you. can get it out today if you like. So, because it won't let me print a shipping label until you actually go through. But anyway, guys, this is what we're dealing with, okay? And so what I'm going to do is go to the Bitcoin chart, and then I'm going to come back to this Dogecoin chart. But I just want to show you how I got here to this point. Don't forget, like this video, share it with other people if you'd like to see some others in here with us. We could have a good time. My lines from earlier are not syncing. Why is that? Come on, Weeble. I drew on this chart earlier today and it's not syncing. Let's see if we can get it to show. All right, well, we'll just use this for now. All right. So as you can see on the Bitcoin side, oh, I'm sorry, I meant Jonathan, not you, Josiah. I meant Jonathan. My bad. If you can just take a look here, you see this trend line here, and these touches. This is where I'm expecting that we'll completely bottom out. All right. So you can see, just starting from the bottom, if you draw a trend line from here to here and you continue it onward, and what you can do if you're not very good at lining things up, you can, on Weeble charts, use what's called ray. What you do is you start it from one point, then put it to the next lowest point, so right here, and it will then project like a ray, project the rest of the line for you. So I'm just gonna put it right on the bottom of this candle, and you can see it just continued it for me. So now I get to start looking for what's that next potential stopping spot going to be. And as you can see, because you have to factor in that because this is time going from left to right, this is going backwards, this is going forward, that as these candles form, it's going to be going to the right. So if we're looking at a downtrend and we're going to the right, you just kind of, map it out. If we keep a downtrend here, we're going to hit the line somewhere around this area right here. And you can see that's going to be right in the 44. Our next touch at this support line, this trend support line, would be right around this 44 to 44.5 level, right? So, and we can say that probably within the next, well, this is the 4-hour chart. So this could happen anywhere from now until the next 2 days, but it'll probably happen sooner than that. And that would be a bounce off of this 44-ish thousand level support. And that's what we just got on Bitcoin as well. We just had to touch the 44.5, which is pretty close. And now we're bouncing up a bit. Now, if you carry that same thing over to Dogecoin, line up those same points, that looks like this. So, and the one we're highlighting is this line right here, and I'll make the one we're not highlighting white for the moment. All right, so if we're looking at this purple line, you can see I just started somewhere near the bottom, lined it up to this next point. A ray would continue drawing this out for you, and then you can look and see where that next potential stopping point would be on the Dogecoin chart. And you can see right in this general area, because then I also just for the sake of it, I wanted to draw out, well, what's the alternative way that this could play out. You never want to look at the charts only one way and blind yourself to any other possibilities. You always, don't be biased. Being biased, the price action does not care about your bias. Your goal always is to figure out what are other people seeing, what are most people seeing, and that will tell you what's most likely going to happen next. And that's why I use very few indicators. Like I said, I only use the 200 EMA because that's the main one that people use typically. All right, and then support and resistance lines. Everybody knows those three things: support, resistance, 200 EMA. All right, and so that's what I generally just go by to keep it simple. So I drew along these bottoms in this way, and then I also drew along these bottoms to project out a more conservative possible stopping point. And I just kind of drew this box here to kind of average out what's the general area between these two potential trend lines where we'll see a stopping point, right? Before a bounce up. Now I'll make this one white as well. And then I also looked left to right because, yes, we have trend line supports, but we also have horizontal support and resistance lines. So, there was a stopping point right about here, and there was a more important stopping point here. You can see rejected here, rejection here, and consolidation, support here, resistance here, then support here again. So these two lines are important as well. And so that's why I have the diagonal and the horizontal. And you can see kind of like this little box, even if I were to move my box, these points right here, these four corners, kind of how they meet in these general areas. So that just gave me a little range here between 2830-ish, right? This little area, and this area here, which was around 29.5. But at the same time, looking at the diagonals, you could see, you know, over time we could hit it right about here at like the 30-cent mark, which is also an important level. Or if time were to play out more and we disrespected this line, if this one disappeared, maybe over time we could get closer to this spot. But it's still around the same point, around 30 cents. So it's a very important spot, the 30-cent level, and all the way down to about 28.3. So that's the stopping range. Now, I think we're switching to more of a bearish mindset, a bearish mentality in the market. Like I've been talking about these last couple days, we're getting to a point here where we're getting close to the 23rd, and we're running out of time to have, in my opinion, bullish momentum. Because you would expect people to start to just get a little concerned regarding what could happen if things don't go so well on that day, in the same way they didn't go so well during the Senate hearing, you know, because what if things similarly don't go so well for us at the House hearing? And I think we're pretty much done seeing all the hype stuff going on, and now we'll see the bottom stuff, you know, the downtrend stuff. Oh, cool, Jonathan. I guess I missed it. So awesome. I'll go ahead after the stream ends and I'll get it out to you. Good stuff. And thanks for the support, and hopefully you like the shirt. But yeah, guys, that's where we're at. It looks like we're seeing a strong pullback. We're getting towards the bearish mentality. That does not mean we're going to see Dogecoin to 19 cents necessarily, so don't get like overly bearish here, but this is the pullback time to where we might get, you know, one last chance at a dip, just depending on how things play out. So we want to keep our eyes open to both scenarios. What if things go bad, but what if things go good? And make sure we can take like a high probability, decent play and just be comfortable playing it out and seeing what happens. So I think, you know, somewhere in this area, maybe around 28-ish, 29, 28, could be the lowest we see, unless Bitcoin gets to really bad territory here. So if Bitcoin, you know, comes down to 44, does a little small bounce, shows resistance at 45, and then falls through the trend line, and then starts heading towards like back towards 43 and 42.5, and starts looking weak there, that puts us in a different scenario. But yeah, we are still looking decent, and we'll most likely bottom out here just within the next cent or two on Dogecoin. So it's not a terrible time to enter. And if you do want to enter right now at this moment and not really wait just in case, what I would just recommend, just dollar cost average in. DCA. You know, scale in, don't necessarily all in at 31 cents. There's still a high chance we pull back another 2 to 3 cents here. So it makes sense to put some in and save some just in case. All right, and that way you at least are starting a position and then can just average it down. 41.5 Bitcoin's possible. Yeah, really anything's possible at this point, but highest probability short term, we're most likely looking at 44. But yes, true. What's going on, Matt? Hey, welcome to the stream. Still ascending level of support. Yep, we are still trending up. We are still trending up. The uptrend has not been broken. So as far as sentiment goes, we are not in bearish sentiment quite yet. Our uptrend is still going and still going strong. You can see it's actually increased in strength because we're still pulled away from both support lines here. We have not made a touchback on this pullback quite yet. So we are still in a strong uptrend. So we do have to keep that in mind. Is the Discord for Patreon or free? Yeah, Discord is if you subscribe to the channel and then you click join. If you become a super member, basically, a member of the YouTube channel, then you get into the invite only Discord. That's where we're at, guys. The lowest number on Bitcoin we can go and still be bull run healthy is 37. Yeah, for sure. And once we go under 42, I think people are going to get concerned again. Once we break into 30s, especially just anywhere under 39, because people usually like to give a little bit of like a grace. You know what I mean? A little bit of a buffer. So like 39, they're like, okay, maybe it'll bounce from here. 38, you know, maybe there's still some hope. But once you get down to about 37, once you break under like the 2 and you head down to 37 and under, then it becomes very clear that you've lost your steam. So that's when we'd probably see a pickup in sell-off, and we don't want to see that unless you're looking for a dip buy. Then maybe you do want to see that. But that's where we're at, guys. But Bitcoin as well, still running strong. You can see bounce here, touch here, confirm that this was the trend, and it has not come back and made a touch yet. So it is still trending strong. And we can bring up some EMAs here just to get a different perspective. We're coming towards the 100 time frame EMA, which is going to meet right around that level and give it like an extra level of support. That 100 EMA is going to hit, it looks like, at about the same point as this 44,000 level. So, oh, what's going on? Thank you, Dr. Derbs. Welcome to the super member group. Welcome to the family. So I'll go ahead and get you an invite link to the members only Discord group. Appreciate the support, and we look forward to chatting it up. So let's see. Any questions, guys? Oh, this is for Dr. Derbs. Cool. All right, yeah. If you, Dr. Derbs, if you go to my YouTube channel, my YouTube channel's page, and then click on the community tab, you'll see the post there, where you can click the invite link. Glad to have you, man. I know there's probably a couple people that are a little turned off by, having to pay monthly, but honestly, if you pay attention to what we talk about in there, you will easily make that back in maybe even 5 minutes. It's only $10 a month. When you really think about trading, you make a good trade, you've made 10 times that in like 10 minutes. So I think it's worth it. Do you expect to bounce up before the next drop? I expect a small bounce. If we start going above 45,000 here on Bitcoin and looking decent, then maybe we don't do a pullback. But I think if we stay under 45 here, there is still the high chance that we make our continuation down to 44. Yeah, so I think we're going to get to 44. We're going to do a bounce there, maybe up to 45, 46, and that will probably be it. But I mean, that's a couple cents to scalp on Dogecoin, and then I would really just be surprised if people are still buying up and we see a continuation further than that post tomorrow. I think Thursday, Friday are days where we should start seeing it cool off. So I think, in my opinion, this is the way I'm thinking. And guys, keep in mind, this is just me trying to take my best guess, my best stab at it from having watched these charts for months on end every day. But it does not mean that it's necessarily going to play out that way. It's just what I consider a somewhat educated guess. But I think this is going to be a short-term scalp play opportunity where we can maybe buy somewhere here, sell somewhere here, and then wait to see what happens going into Monday. I think a bull run going into Monday doesn't make any sense at all, which is why I think the only other option is to sell off. So there's that. Thank you. Any update on the Doge update? Not quite, but what we can do is while we're watching this play out, let's go. Oh, and here we go. We're doing another pullback. This is what I was talking about. We had the 1 cent scalp opportunity here, and now we've got the bounce. It stopped at 31. It's coming back. It's looking for support at the previous spot. If it falls below that, we'll probably see it come back down and kind of do that H of Doom classic. You know, you already know. If you know, you know. And then see a dip down into 29s again, and maybe stopping at 28. And that should put it close to Bitcoin 44, in my opinion. But we'll see. This is also a potential buy spot because, you know, this is a test of support, making a higher high. We had bounce here, move up. It's coming back, testing support. So, but if it was me, I'd probably just wait it out. And Tony, thank you for subscribing, man. Welcome. And also, it looks like I missed a sub from yesterday. Oh, no, I didn't. I announced that one. So we're good. We're caught up. Cool. Don't want to miss anybody. And as a perk, guys, as a perk to joining the Discord group, you do have the opportunity to get 25% of off anything on my store. So if you were planning to buy like a shirt like this or something, and you wanted a deeper discount, maybe that's a good strategy. All right, we're seeing a red candle here. We'll check this out. Let's go ahead and go over to Twitch and check out Ross Nicoli. Okay. Let's go ahead and go over to Twitch and check out Ross and see what's going on. See if he said anything new about Dogecoin. I did not catch any new things on Twitter regarding it, but the best source is usually just to go right to the dev.
Okay, that should be live now. Yeah, that's working. Cool. Yeah, there we go. Hi everyone. Yeah, I had a bit of a technical hiccup there. Froggy and is having had some last minute issues with Froggy, and
so I'm not going to full screen this because I want to also be able to see what's going on the chart. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. All right. Whoops. There we go. So we can keep a close eye on Dogecoin here. Ross's Twitter account is rnicol, right here. RNICOLL. All right, couple green candles. This could be a potential bounce buy spot. You know, low risk. The thing is, we got the dip here. We made a higher high, pulled back, tested this as support again, and so now we could see a further pullback. So like I said, that guys, this is a potential spot to buy in and take a chance. So I'm not going to discourage that. Scaling in, starting here a bit, maybe 25%. See what happens. Save another 75% for a dip back to 30. Maybe throw another 25 in there, and then save the other 50 for a pullback to 28 or 29. But so far, this doesn't look too bad. Or you can just wait. All right, I'm gonna pause the music. That was a lot of conflicting sounds there. Ah, that wasn't intended. Theater mode, please.
Cool. I can now see the follows and stuff.
So let's see what we can find here.
I don't know the answer to is the short version. Similarly, questions on when does the update come out. That's complicated, and I can talk about that in a second. The hat also welcomes you, Doge Money. There we go. So this is the update. So
here we go.
So we're checking all over it. I'll talk about that today actually. So what we are doing at the moment is there's a security patch you want to get in for 1.14.4. That looks like it's the final thing. I am also doing regular
Big red
tag
candle on
releases.
Doge.
So if you know how to build the code yourself, there is a regular tag we are doing with the latest in tag. So there you go. I hate to say this on Dig to King Taz, but there's so many people who say there's no devs that I've kind of lost count. I mean, this is kind of why I stream, is that we had so many people saying no one's writing Dogecoin, so I was a bit, well, let's actually do this visibly, because I thought, you know, people might look at GitHub, but that's not very obvious, and we can't talk about what I'm doing or why, so streaming helps with that approach. I hadn't seen Mark Cuban saying that 95% of purchases for his companies are done with Dogecoin, but I'm not surprised. Like, if you think about the fees on most of the cryptocurrency, that's kind of our big benefit, and we're improving them. Thank you for the follow for gathers, much appreciated. Oh, that's a good point. I need to open my Doge wallet in case anything comes in there. Cool. Congratulations on happy birthday, Commandy. That's awesome. What are you doing today? Anything fun? Well, I mean, I stream obviously, but apart from my stream, the People's Coin. It's asked any ideas on the smart contracts updates. I know it's another team. I don't really know. Oh, and I've forgotten the name of the person. Catman Zalen, who was potentially around here and may have insights. I know the other dev has a token they're running, and I'm slightly cautious whether that's taken their time. But there is also still the bridge. The bridge is, as far as I'm aware, moving along. I need to sort out a second interview with the guy working on the bridge. So I've literally just linked right above you to things we're doing just Doge. So the master branch, we don't work on there. That's controversial. I don't actually agree with that anymore. But I think people say we should work on other branches. The idea is that anything that's in that release branch, in that publicly visible branch, is stable and there's no surprises. But I am a bit, well, we shouldn't be merging it in unless we're confident in it. So that doesn't actually really work the way we think it does. But hey, majority says no, we work in other branches. But you can see the tags above on where we're working. Doge Money, yeah, we had an interview with Oscar a few weeks ago. Hang on, let me pull it.
Strong pullback, and it just crossed below that support line it was trying to hold. So looks like there's a high chance we'll get a retest at least at 30.20, and then possibly just a fail of the 30 level and down into the 20s. So looking good if you're still looking for a dip.
Pull it up. Reduced fees, 114. Oh, hey, Soraya. Oh, I saw you gifted me a sub to Kaylin Dory, by the way, Soraya. Thank you for that. I just
looks like he's about to talk about the updates, so this is where I'm gonna play it from.
So I'm gonna hop onto the VM. So what I'm doing,
not the whole thing, just a minute,
is I am testing what will become 1.14.5. So there are fee changes. So this is a two-part change where 1.14.4 enables reduced fees. 1.14.5 changes the recommended fees, so you can actually override the first one to get the low fees, but we don't recommend them until most of the network is upgraded. What I'm doing here is updating the code. Wow, thank you for gifting that sub, Scotty Doge. I'm paying it forward. And welcome, X-Bray Zeeks. I am really bad at pronouncing
projection
names.
wick on the 3050.
So yeah, so I'm doing the recommendation change. Oh, and another hydrate. Thank you, Doge Money. So I can just mark that done from here, actually. I can't, but I can open the rewards queue from here. Mark complete. So the moment I'm trying to figure out... So this is obviously saying the original So the fee is being set to the original schedule, whereas the recommendations are 1/100th of that for the new one. The question is, why is that fee ending up too high? So, looking at this test here, at line 647. 647. Okay. Oh, I think it may in fact literally be that bit there. Right there. Where it said this needs scaling back down again. This is the upside to explain it to you. So, the idea here is that I can then test 114.4, the theoretical version, against 114.5 and make sure it does actually work the way we expect it to when we plug it all in. But where are you? What is? Oh, that's. How is that seeing the corner of that desk? I need to sort the angles on the camera. Oh, it looks like I solved that problem. Right. Great. There we go. Easiest fix ever.
I'm trying to get some info here on the update.
So we get through these today, and again, this is going through Patrick's fee schedule, just applying these, and then so the actual test is going to take a lot longer. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Come on, Ross.
I will hydrate in a second, Kit. And yeah, I've got a hydrate to do. Thank you for the hydrate. Andalum 741. There we go. I haven't made tea today, so it's all is that the required, so the recommended fee in 114.5 is still 10 times higher than the absolute required fee, and that I don't know exactly why we're doing that, but my inference is that we're giving ourselves a safety net that if it's too low on the requirement, we can bump that back up again without causing massive problems. Thank you for the bit, Plumbers Scrack. Who I just that's meant to be announced. I've realised I've mispronounced it, but I don't care.
Hey, Dr. Derbs, I use Robinhood for my active trading of Dogecoin.
So,
it's just the easiest
in terms of bringing the fees together, the idea here is this we're going to simplify the fees. So we want to remove the rounding of the transaction sizes before the fee is applied. That's one of the big differences that makes it tricky. The dust fees, I don't think we're removing yet, but I do want to reach out to all the wallet providers and say, hey, this is our revised fee schedule, please adopt it, and then have, Coinomi, Ledger, Engine, all these companies that have Dogecoin wallets, make sure they're doing the same fee schedule.
Okay. I use Robinhood primarily for trading my Dogecoin. It's like the cheapest, the easiest, and no commission fees, which is important. Compared to Webull, it also seems to be a little bit better because on Webull I was having difficulty getting filled at good prices, whereas on Robinhood it pretty much fills me exactly where I place my trade. But if I'm doing more long-term holds and trying to, or just trying to trade a different type of coin, then I use Coinbase. And they are more expensive, which is why Robinhood's good if you can trade the coin you want on there. But if you want to actually physically hold the coin to buy stuff with it, or just have it in your wallet,
I think,
or if you want to just not use Robinhood, then that's what I use Coinbase for. Or if you want to trade a coin that is like a weird one, like Baby Doge or something strange, Coinbase is what I go to, or just one of the others.
Running nodes on Raspberry Pi and other highly limited hardware.
I don't know if we're going to get the information I wanted here.
Practical life cycle.
Wait, was I muted there?
And I think that in wanting to move more transactions, we have to accept that's going to become impractical. However, right now, yes, you can, and I believe you can. I haven't tried it personally. And if you use an external hard drive, it should work.
I want to read this. All right. Okay, y'all just got called in. I'll see you later. Make that money. Thanks again, Mariano. Appreciate you. Oh, no problem. Thanks for hanging out.
And yeah, you can just plug a hard drive in.
Dogecoin is still selling off here.
Probably got to be a midway state where you use cheap hardware, but not down to the Raspberry Pi level. Maybe, I don't know. Actually, memory is the biggest problem with the Raspberry Pi. So having a bit more memory, if you can get that, definitely helps. So we've done the. I think that was the default transaction fee I've just done. Hang on. -1. So this is. Yeah. Transaction. Oh.
What's going up, Lori? What's going on, rather? Hey Mariano, what's up? What's up? Finally, the dip ETH predictions.
So we've done fallback.
Yes, finally the dip.
Fee.
With ETH.
So it's dust relay.
My predictions on ETH are the same as my predictions with Bitcoin, basically.
It's the next one
I think we're about to break under 3,000 here, and we could see a pullback to somewhere near probably around 28. That's my short-term prediction. Right around this level right here. And I mean, let's draw just for the sake of it. Come on, trend line. So on the Ethereum side, it's kind of already broken its trend line. It's not doing quite as well as the other two. So that's not very good.
See, I think
so yeah, this one looks like it wants to go down a little further.
This coin divided by
as you can see.
So one.
So yeah, that's not too good.
0,
What if we drew it from this angle?
10. So that's now 10,000.
From that angle, potential stopping point is coming up right at about 3,000 flat. But something tells me that's not going to hold. So we'll see. Not looking super hot for Ethereum today.
I think I'm just going to flag that because I think that number's too low.
All right, and there's the bounce we talked about at the 30-20 level right here. Now we just need to see, will it stall out? Will it get to 30.50 and pull back again and then make another low? Or will it go above 30.50, test it as support again, and continue up?
Thank you for the follow.
He's not giving us too much info. He basically just said the update's done, guys. You know, 1.14. It's done. It needs more testing.
Verify that, and I'll find out what's going on.
He's not answering too many questions,
okay.
So we'll sit
now,
this one.
If you ask for ad time, I will run ad.
Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that.
So it'll be free to all people. So like, you want to do a cover of one of my Froggy songs or play a song on your stream? Go for it. We want to also pay artists to make their art, and we want art to continue to.
All right. Awesome. I use Robinhood to scalp too. Cool. With the fees, he's talking about decrease when buying or selling on Robinhood. No, not necessarily on Robinhood, because they don't really charge the fee to the. I don't think they pass that fee along. Robinhood has been transparent about their fees, and usually network fees aren't ones that we see passed along to the user. But what we end up seeing are just the regulatory fees that are mandatory to be paid from like the SEC. The fee decrease would really come into play when you're making trades on like an actual exchange that lets you hold your coin. So, plus with Robinhood, you never actually are holding your coin. So I think that's part of the reason they don't have to pass those fees along, because you're kind of just buying and selling the right to hold Dogecoin, but you never actually end up holding it. So I don't think it even needs to be a network transaction. Anyway, I mean, it probably does, but anyway, on Coinbase, on, you know, crypto.com, on Kraken, Binance, any exchange where you're actually already paying for those fees, that's where you'll see a nice decrease. Or even when you're just doing, you know, just using whatever wallet you use and sending it to someone else to make a payment, to make a donation, it'll always say, like, here's the fee from the provider, or, you know, here's Kraken's fee, here's Coinbase's fee, and here's the network fee. You'll see that network fee get decreased. Gotcha. Cool. Great stream, man. Thanks for the update. Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty much where we're at. You know, there's not a lot going on at this moment, guys. What we need to see here, will this stall out at 30.50? If so, we'll probably end up getting that second chance under 30. This will take a couple minutes to play out, so feel free to ask any questions meanwhile. And I'll try to keep the stream going until we can see what's going to happen here after this 30.50 move. Doge Noodle says, if you get a chance, can you show us the shirt behind you, the navy one? Cheers. Yeah, it's just a blank shirt. There's nothing on it yet. It's about to have something on it because this is for Josiah, who's in the stream right now. But I'll grab it. It's just a blank blue shirt. So, really soft though. I've like bought, when I buy shirts to like sell to you guys, I buy extras and I just wear them. Like, these shirts are nice. All right, let me play the music again. One sec, I'm gonna throw the dancing Doge up.
Jump up top when I speak, all cap with the speech till they caught up in the rapture. I'm so out of line with the phrase game. Let's take a break, been a long day. Hit your line with your that it's real when it's all said and done. I said it how I feel it. I let them hear the fear of a passive aggressive angry black man with a passion. Steady grip when I shoot to the stars with a full clip. Jotting line with the loose leaf. Then I proofread till I lose sleep. Couldn't handle the truth in your bed with the writing. Love at first sight. Art over hype. Need a sound bite for the time capsule. Press play, they pause time for a bit. Smitten, I admit it, couldn't kick it. I'm in love with the fine print. Scribble type of they wouldn't find behind the white suspicions behind the eyelid. Tell a reckless what the clause is. Careful with the cost me. Need it forever, but I never ever stop until they put me in the coffin or they off me. They cook the auction, they false print. Always read the shit with a caution. Hold it 10 toes down for the dogs. You can see the paw print. Searching for the answers in the bottom of the last strip of the handle. At the end of the candle, the wishes to myself give me fears when I'm looking in the mirror. I'm seeing somebody else, yeah. Mi corazón is on my sleeve shoulder. Wrist thing and they rose gold and right go from it.
Almost done, guys. 1 sec.
Point in the globe, so I wanted to go from it. Just know that I don't fit in, but I wanna feel everything, yeah, everything, yeah, everything, yeah, everything, yeah, everything, yeah, everything, yeah, everything, yeah. I got my eyes low as the sky falls where the rhyme floats. I don't really know just where we might go with the mind scope. So many things I never learned with my eyes closed. Too busy with the schemes on the telling of my dreams on the rail. I grind like my life's on the line, hella wire. So far through with the light sticks. We open up when the light flicks. On sight, yellow cash rolls, everything around me. Hunting for the bounty. Look at how we drip on fountain. Grind a tree down by the ounce. Liquor skin brown, slip it down to the earth, spin around. Life is hella short, so make it count. Tell the label I need 3, 4, 5. Better count it back out loud. What we getting into for the night? I never hit reply, but it read. I just wanna feel alive. Life is so much more than the bills. I just want a house in the hills. I just wanna look into her eyes while I'm gripping on the thighs, so she knowing that it's real.
Start.
They don't really want it with the kid. I do this shit to feed my future kids. And I got these lame crowds cause I'm starving. They gotta see my highlight. Real. Wrist thing and they rose gold and might go from it. Couldn't pinpoint in the globe, so I wanted to go from it. Just know that I don't fit in, but I wanna feel everything. Everything, yeah. Everything, yeah. Yeah, everything, yeah. Everything, yeah. Yeah, everything, yeah. But I wanna feel everything. Yeah, everything, yeah. Everything, yeah, everything.
All right. For some reason this is giving me problems. So let's try this one more time.
Dumb finna jump for the shit all top when I speak, all cap with the speech till they caught up in the rapture. I'm so out of line with the phrase game. Let's take a break, been a long day. Hit your line, what you fall through with the light sticks. Maybe help me spark the ideas. We got no.
There it is. All right. All right, where were we? Sorry, guys. Doge boys vibing. Okay, so a couple comments. Do I think the lowest for Doge is 28? Before next week, yes. I mean, after that, we'll just have to see how Monday goes. But as of now, yes, I think 28 is the lowest for Dogecoin, which means that buying anywhere from now to 28 isn't too bad of an idea. But the higher up, the further away from 28 you are, the lower I would, the smaller amount of money I would just throw in. That way you can dollar cost average in instead of just YOLO all-inning at like 32 cents. You know what I mean? Jonathan. If it breaks 30.51, are we looking at 31 cents? Probably. Yeah, we could see 31, 32 again. You know, that's probably going to be a bounce. If we break 35 and we test it as support again, we could go back up to 31, do a little pullback, and continue up. So that would confirm that maybe this was the short-term bottom right at 29. But if not, then we'll probably come back to 29 and go lower. So this will be an important moment. Oh, you want to see the black one with pictures on it? Rico, thanks for having me. Absolutely, man. Glad to have you. I think we hit the bottom, this retracement? You're ready to go? Potentially at 29.9, that was the bottom, which, by the way, guys, was right at about 30 cents. All right, don't get fooled because it said 29. It was 29.93. That's as close to 30 cents as you can really get. So 30.50 isn't that far away. It's half a cent away. Buying on confirmation at 30.50 is basically the same as if you had got in there at 29.9. So we'll see what happens once we pass this white line here, if we do. I bought at 31.79, 185,000 Doge. Wow. It's a big position. That's a massive position size. The evolution of money one? Yeah, I'll grab it in just a sec. $44,000 Doge earlier. Nice. I use Robinhood primarily, but I also mess with Coinbase. But Coinbase I use if I don't plan to do a lot of buys and sells because I don't want to pay the fees. I use Robinhood if I'm going to be scalping, doing a lot of trades. That way I can avoid the trading fees. Gemini's pretty decent. Do you have that staked? I'm on Robinhood, but working on getting on Gemini. Yeah, I heard the Gemini staking is pretty good. Isn't it like 7.4% APR? APY? Alrod says, I have to be honest, I'm tired of buying the dip. I'm just holding. That's perfectly fine. Usually that's even better. The less trades you execute, usually the better. Unless you feel like you've got some big plays you can make by buying, selling, selling. Skydive, for example, one of the people that's always here on the stream, she waited, bought at like 16 cents and sold at 34. She over doubled her money doing one play. Sometimes that's just the way to do it. What do I think about this candle? It's pretty big. Yeah, it is a pretty decent sized candle, but I'm just gonna wait till we get to 30.50, and we have to see what happens at that resistance level. Do we pass it or do we fail it? Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, Weevil chart froze, so I think we just passed it. Yeah, we passed it, broke out. I need to go to Trading View. Hey, thank you, Ray. Thank you so much for that support, man. Appreciate that. Really, really do appreciate that. This is a small channel, guys, so YouTube doesn't really pay me. So if you feel the urge to super chat or super sticker donate, that's fine. Appreciate it. Or if you want to buy something off the website, that's cool too. Either thing I appreciate, of course. If you want to only, of course. All right, so going to Dogecoin here on TradingView. All right, so you can see here just from this view, 30-minute time frame, we are flagging here, but we're also under the 200 EMA line, so that's a bit concerning. But if we were to just drop the time frame down, All right, we need to go a little smaller time frame. Ew, it's so weak. Look at the volume here. I don't like this chart at all. Let's find a different one. There we go. Looks like we almost double bottomed here, and now we're having some consolidation. So really what we want to see at this point is almost a break above this 37 level here. That's not what I meant to do. Alt H. And there we go. Okay. So we did test at 35. Looks like we're going to bounce off of that. So this could be a potential entry. We do want to see what happens here, make a higher high. But scaling in at this point isn't a bad idea. As you can see here, we had that touch at 30 flat, and then we double bottomed here at about 30.01. And then we consolidated, and we're looking to break out. Problem is, though, on the way up, we still do have... we've got some barriers nearby. There's only about 1 or 2 cents of movement here. But we'll want to see what happens at this little spot. Really appreciate that, Ray. Thank you. Yeah. All right, I'll grab the shirt. So this is the evolution of Doge shirt. This was a custom request. It's not on the site. But like I told you guys, if there's a shirt that you see that doesn't look extremely complicated and you want it, you can always ask and see if I can make it for you. That's what ended up happening here. This is the shirt that like Elon Musk was wearing. And I'll full screen it just so you can see. Oh, hang on. Look at this one. Evolution of Doge shirt with some stuff on the back. This is for this is Jonathan's shirt. Jonathan in the chat. This was his custom request. So when the stream ends, it's going in the mail. And those purple and blue and stuff shirts, those are Josiah's, and then those polos right there are Chaz Mandu's. So I've got all y'all's stuff. But this is interesting, guys. A little weak at this level. Let's see what happens. Doesn't really want to make this higher high. So I'm trying to eat dinners at the same time so my wife doesn't yell at me. No cook likes when you eat their food cold. All right. The white Doge shirt you have on is dope too. I might cop one. Dude, I like it so far. I made it right before the stream started. Literally, like, I put the shirt on and then I clicked share screen. But yeah, I really like the polo too. Let me know if you want one. I can. Thing is, guys, I can do like, it doesn't matter, like hoodies, whatever. I mean, polos. You just gotta tell me because I have to custom order it off the site, and obviously those special requests will take a couple extra days because I have to actually get it to me, and then I can custom make it. But just let me know and I can do it. The polos look sick as well. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm feeling the polos. I might have to get me some more polos too. All right, so we did reject that 37. We'll see where we come back down to. Keep in mind, anytime you're buying under the 200 EMA is a strong indicator. When you're trading on the underside, that typically means there's a higher chance that things go down. That is a bearish sign, bearish trading sign. When you start trading on the upper side of the 200 EMA, there's a higher chance the price action trades upwards in an uptrend. That is a bullish sign. So making entries under the 200 EMA is risky. And that's why you have to be even more careful, because there's a higher chance that your entry will be wrong because it's in a downtrend. And buying in a downtrend before confirmation is very risky. So that's why even at moments like this, I only recommend buying at what seems like it could be the lowest, most probable spots of reversal, because the higher up you buy closer to the 200 EMA, it's the higher chance you're buying at the top, because the 200 EMA is serving as that resistance level where it'll probably bounce off of and pull back, like right here. So that's why I'm playing this slow. I haven't made any buy or sell yet. I'm just watching. Can I get tall polos? Yes, I guess I can. They have, I did see they have specifically tall polos. My average buy was at 39 cents. I was almost there. Oh, man. Almost. We've got a lot of people in the chat. Thank you all for coming to the stream today. Waiting for Weeble chart to come back up. I like the perspective it gives a little more than TradingView, but TradingView's solid. Obviously, it's very feature packed. But big red candles here. Definite strong rejection. Now we're back under 30.50 as well. Looks great. Thank you. Gemini staking percentage reduced now and not available in the UK. Oof. I guess I should have expected the staking percentage to reduce. Usually they kind of bait you in and then they drop it. That's what the one that Meet Kevin's was always pushing. I forget what it's called. BlockFi. They did that too. All right. I want to give this a couple minutes. Wife left anyway, so I've got some extra time here. She won't get mad at me for the longer stream today. Hit the likes, y'all. Thank you. What's up, Travis? That Doge is dancing, guys. Wearing mine at work. Nice. And Shazmandu, this is probably the size of like the logo. So just let me know if that's the size you like want it. So I can go smaller than that even. But this is what inch did I do? This is 2 inches. Well, D portion is 1 and 1.3. But it's like that. So if it was just the D, it would be like that. Wife left anyway. Oh no. Not like that. She went to the store. She's fine. But I usually cut the stream short so that I'm not taking too much from her time. But since she went out anyway, we're good. Do I post to UK? I can ship anywhere, but just know that overseas they do kind of, you know, the postal shipping, it gets a little pricey. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind. You might want to just kind of order everything you might want at once so you don't have to pay that shipping multiple times. Or if it's too much, I understand. But, you know, it's a little pricey for shipping. And I don't make the shipping rates, guys. Actually, that's not true. I don't make the overseas shipping rates. The actual shipping rates to, like, in the United States, I did modify those. I actually cut them in half because I didn't like how much they were. And so if you only order like one item and you don't get the free shipping that I offer, the shipping rate you see is actually half of what it actually is. I pay half. I pay the other half because I don't know. Nobody likes to pay shipping, right? I don't either. Having to pay $5 for shipping, it's like, what if I just pay half of that? So you'll see it for like $2. Gotta run later, guys. Thanks for hanging out, Ray. What's up with Ada? Ada's chilling. Let's check it out. Ada dropped below 2. That's a little unfortunate. It's probably due partly to Bitcoin selling off now. We're seeing a bit of a bearish pullback. I don't care. I'm very bullish on ADA. I will wait for this dip to stop and then probably just throw a whole lot more money in. ADA, in my opinion, Ethereum's just way too expensive. And until Ethereum is getting close to ETH2, ADA has a lot of time to take over some market share. So, ADA's probably going to stop at around 1.9. That's a really obvious level right here. You see resistance here, resistance here. So that's a probable bounce point. So I would even maybe consider starting to add some right now, because that's only half, you know, what is that, 4 cents away when we're at $1.90. It's not very much percentage wise. And then the next stopping point's probably down here at 170. Either way, you know. What do we have? Line here. Line here. So we've got like 3 levels right here. Basically every 10 cents down is where there was some major activity. I'll delete this one because it wasn't that important, but you know, 190 and then there's room down to 170 after that. I don't think it falls further. I don't. Whoa, Dogecoin. Well, as soon as we took our eyes off, you guys distracted me. You said, what about ADA? I looked at ADA. And then Dogecoin dropped to 30 cents flat. Interesting. All right, well, here's that opportunity we were talking about. It looks like it wants to potentially still go under. It rejected 30.70. Instead of breaking above, it just did a double hit as resistance, pulled all the way back down very bearishly. I'm not bullish short term on this, to be honest. That's not really something you want to see. Oh, you'd like it smaller than even that? Okay. Let's see. Okay. What two supports are we looking for again? So okay, yeah, good question. So if we fail this 30-cent level and continue down, the supports are basically in this area, this white box. The lowest point being around 28.30. Wouldn't agree to get to 28 flat, to be honest. Looks like the most probable bounce spot is 28.30 at the lowest, and up to about 30 cents. So anywhere in that range is the dip buy spot. The highest chance bounces that I saw was 28.30 and about 29.50. So yeah, right around there. 29.50, 28.30, and anywhere in between. Is Dogecoin, is Weeble back up yet? I think Weeble chart's working. 30.39. No, it's not. All right, so let's go back. Multiple buys, yep. Yeah, ADA is good. With the gas fees of Ethereum competition, this is their time to shine. If you have a big position, is it a good time to hold or to sell? Depends on what your average cost is. If your average cost is near 30 cents, probably I would hold and maybe try to just add some more down to 28. If you're holding from like 35, maybe you might want to look for a sell and try and buy back at like 28 cents. But honestly, if we only have 2 cents to go, I don't know if I could recommend selling, because you're kind of selling near a potential bottom. So it's a bit of an awkward time to sell, if you know what I mean. Is ACH resistance 68 cents? Do you mean support or resistance? You mean, is this the bottom on ACH? Or are we at the top? Is this a dip, Invu says? Yes. Well, it's coming. There's probably going to be another part. I think we'll see another pullback here. But if we break above 30.75, we're probably back in an uptrend. But this is, as you can see, high, lower high. I mean, high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then this swing high was lower than this one and this one. And then a lower swing low. So we're in a downtrend right here. So we're still waiting to break above that. If this comes up to here and starts trading up, this could have been a double bottom or maybe even a triple bottom. Maybe that's the way some people are seeing it. You got to let these, there's a lot of different patterns that it could be. That's why you just have to let the price action play out a little bit, see which one is the most dominant. But we got two bounces off 30. So that could be, 2 bounces off the top of our white line there. That is probably a potential buy signal to some people. So I would consider that angle. Looks like Weeble charts are starting to come back. Do I long-term hold as well as scalp? Yes, I do. Typically, I have one account where I just hold and don't mess with it, and then I have my other account for scalping. My strongest recommendation, and kind of like what Rick just said, you can always buy relatively low and then just don't go all in. You can make risky, if you're buying in at a place that's potentially risky, it's usually better just go like 25 or 50% in, save the rest of your capital for if you're in at the wrong spot and it continues to go down, and then you can average down some more, buy some coins cheaper. There's no reason to YOLO all in trade when you don't know if you're at the bottom. Am I in? No, I'm not in. I'm usually the last person to be in and the last person to sell. That's because the recommendations that I give to you guys, I try to also trade them, especially when I'm streaming. So I'll do the most conservative things possible. Sometimes I'll even miss an entry because I'm trying to be as safe as possible, which is why I say you don't have to listen to what I'm saying to a T as far as when potential buys are and if you should buy at that moment, but just take the information and make a decision. All right, we're getting back to 30.50, trying to decide if we want to go above that. I wouldn't mess around with 30.50 too much. I would wait for 30.70. 30.75 looks to be a stronger level, and I don't really care about 30.50 here. But we will see if we hit 30.50 as resistance, which would then make another lower low, People will probably take that as a sell, especially if we then break below here. We're already stalling out, which isn't good. ACH, that's right, ACH. Let's go to ACH real quick. Oh, I just smelled donuts. Oh, don't do that to me. I'm doing good on my diet. Oh man, donuts. If I'm losing, you're losing with me. I mean, if you guys trade my plays, then yeah, if I lose, y'all lose. If y'all lose, I lose. But the thing is, my recommendations are generally extremely conservative to a point where it's kind of hard to lose, and if you are going to lose, you lose very little. All of the plays I recommend are the lowest risk, highest probability plays. That does not mean you can't do some variations of what I'm. If you get to a point where you're understanding the gist of what I'm telling you, the concept, that doesn't mean you shouldn't take a riskier entry. I'm giving the safest ones, so there's a low chance that I'm wrong. Because even though this isn't financial advice whatsoever, I understand that some people listen to like when I say what looks like decent buy and sell spots are and trade off of that. And I don't want to give especially a lot of you newer traders risky buys and sells, knowing that you don't have the experience to know how to get out of those if it starts to go wrong. So generally my recommendations are at the most obvious bottoms and obvious tops. That's why a lot of you are in profit. Yeah, ACH resistance is right here, very strong at 7. I'd say that's the strongest spot we have right now. Resistance on the top side at 7. If you zoom out some more on ACH, though, you'll see where it was trading before, and you'll be able to find a good bottom. And I drew this out earlier because I was looking at it. Let's go to the 4 hour. Man, trading view. Ooh, I just don't like it sometimes. I really don't. All right. As you can see here, previously, before the massive run-up, this is where the bull run kicked off. From like 25 cents, kicked up not 25 cents, 2.5 cents. Kicked off here, made a run all the way up to about 9 cents here, and pulled back to the lowest point, which was 6 cents flat. So right now we're at a point where we're finding resistance at 7. And support, strong support should be at 6. If we get to 6, I think this is going to play out here. We see a dip down to 6. People buy that up, and we see some sort of bounce. I don't think we go under 6. If we go under 6, that's going to be a problem, because then there's a room back down to like 3. All right, and that's not good. So anywhere between 6 and 7, in my opinion, is probably a good spot to start DCA. Making a position. Obviously, buying at 7, you're kind of towards the resistance side of things, the top, so I wouldn't all in there. I would scale in if I wanted to get a position and just wait and see if it falls back down. If it does, drop some more in here if it looks like it's going to bounce. If I'm only half in here and it drops 1 cent, I only lost at half the rate, so I didn't lose as much as I would have if I all in here. That's the other part of the other purpose of DCA. But if I was right about my buy, I'm already in profit by the time we get here. I can buy on a pullback, a test of support at 7, and then at this point, I'm already in some profit. So throwing the rest in here, I can actually risk down to here, breaking even now. That's the great thing about scaling in, because if I buy here, I'm already in profit by this point. So now I have money to lose, profit to lose before I start messing with my losing capital. We did fail here, and I'm actually probably going to do that myself. I don't know. It's losing a lot of steam. It's only 1 cent though. 1 cent risk, less than 1 cent risk to support isn't bad. So I probably will make an entry here. Dogecoin is about to fall. I think that's pretty clear. So get your dip buy fingers ready, guys, because here it comes. Very, very obvious here that Dogecoin is about to go take a dumperino. All right, it looks like Weeble charts are back up, so I can switch back. Very weak price action here. Strong rejection candle. If anybody sees that, they're selling. We are definitely going down. I would say to at least 29.9. Test that again, but falling under 30, it's unlikely that we're just going to hold at 29.9 again. We're probably going to go down. Thank you all for all the likes as well. Appreciate that. Loving this dip. Me too. I YOLO yesterday and lost about 400 coins. Oh, no. Have I heard about bots, Inc. and Doge? No, I have not. Please inform me. Good content, brother. Thank you, ASAP. ASAP the Thriller. Appreciate you, man. What price do I think we should buy Doge at? So, yeah, this is what I have drawn out, guys. So, take a look here. This is the most likely stopping point based off just some TA in this general area, this white box. Anywhere from 28.30 up to 29.52 or 29.50. It's the most likely bounce zones. At this point, with all this selling off, I wouldn't be surprised if we fail 29.50 and start heading down towards the next level. So that's where we're at. Anywhere in this white box, we could stop. If we fall below that, that's going to be a problem. And we'll talk about that if it comes to it. But this is kind of the dip buy area, the low risk dip buy area. If it slows down at one of these points, here, 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 low risk buy. Stop loss probably being, you know, if it starts going under here, maybe just get out, wait, see what happens, let it play out the rest of the way. Let me throw the 200 EMA up. Oh, it's not even close. Looks like the 50 EMA on the 4 hour is sitting somewhere near that 29 cent level, 29.50. Let's see where it's sitting on some of the other time frames. See if we got any additional EMA support that can give us an idea of where this pullback will likely stop. All right, these EMAs are on the top side, so that's not the ones we want to look at. All right, 200 EMA sitting at 29 as well. So that's the most probable spot so far. And now also the 100 EMA on the 2 hour time frame is sitting at 29.25 as well. So basically right here, there's a lot of support that people are seeing here. So I'm going to draw this line green. It's looking like that's the money line, guys. 29.25. See if we hit it. So I'll just delete that. Let's do a money box right there. From 29.50 to 29.25. That's the money zone. If we hit it, we get a prize. Hey, Matt's Market. Welcome to the super member group, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for the support, man. I'll go ahead and shoot you an invite to the group. We'll be glad to have you in the Discord group. Everybody, welcome Matt to the group. I see you. What's up, JT? Oh yeah, you had just asked that question. My bad. Yes. Ray says, I think we're going to 28. Yep. Very possible. I think when you trade, you're supposed to be getting more coins. Somehow I keep getting less. Idiot. WTF am I doing? So that probably means that you're scalping, but your scalps are not going as planned. Because what ends up happening when you have less capital to buy coins at, you end up being able to buy less coins each time. So if your scalps are going bad, you're going to be able to buy less and less and less and less coins over time, unless the price goes down. So, yeah. All about building a community. Appreciate that, man. I was actually going to join your group as well yesterday. I was thinking about that, so maybe I will. Let's see. I'll get you an invite link as well. Oh, you just used the one for Dr. Derbs. All right, cool. That works perfectly fine. All right, cool. There's a candle. There's the candle dip done. So another small bounce off 20. This is what I was saying. Probably another bounce off 29.9. All right, because this is where support was. You can obviously do a chance buy at previous support just to see what happens. So keep in mind, guys, this is the psychology. This is how trading works. Oh, you thought that was it? Yeah, it works. It works. You got it, so that was the goal anyway. So this is how trading works. When people see a previous stopping point before, they say, oh, that's the likely point where it's going to bounce, which means it is very low risk to just buy at that point expecting a bounce. So no matter what, you're going to see a bounce happen because that's the way people are thinking. So even though we've got all this bearish momentum and we only had one touch at 29.95, on the next attempt down, you're going to see a bounce. Now, if it's small, that tells you that that bounce was just because scalpers, traders said, I'm going to take a chance here. There's pretty much no risk, and I'm going to see what happens. That's what I talk about low risk buys. It's almost impossible to be wrong, so why not buy there? You know everybody else is going to buy there, and there's going to be a bounce, and it's not just going to dump on you. So once you see it holding, why are you not buying there if you're trying to scalp? That's the question to ask. There is no way to be wrong. The price is going to go up, so if you buy right here, worst case scenario, you look here and you say, oh, it's stalling out, it's not looking good, and you sell, and you still made like 1/10 of a cent, right? You didn't lose anything. You made, it's a 0% risk strategy, basically. So that was one place to buy. But if you're not trying to mess around and scalp that frequently, then what you do is you just wait and you see, how does this bounce look? Is it really strong? Is it gaining a lot of momentum? Because if it did, and we had all this momentum coming back to the white line, and now we start holding, then you could say, all right, well, that was a double bottom. That was confirmation that it's not going to dump, and now it's looking to start an uptrend, so I'm going to get in at the next strong pullback at confirmation of an uptrend now, which would probably be like right here. But the thing is, if things were looking bad and the overall trajectory is still going to be down, you will still see the inevitable bounce, but it will be weak and it will come back. And that's what forms the H of Doom that I always talk about. And, you know, if you've been here on this channel for a while, you know I used to say that a lot. The H of Doom pattern. Basically, there's a downtrend. It hits support. You get the inevitable bounce because people are going to buy at some point just to test the waters, knowing it's going to go up at least a little bit there and there's no risk. But if there's not enough of people in agreement that that's the real bottom and people are still skeptical and bearish, it's going to just loop, come back down, and then overall, now it's going to break through that level and continue the downtrend. All right, and that basically is what we're seeing right here. And so we'll see if that continues to play out. But this is what I'm talking about. See how that just, the rocket went up and the rocket lost steam, and now the rocket's coming straight back down to that support level. All those people realized that bought here, we don't have momentum at 29.9. So we're probably still going to continue down. So now here, they're like, all right, I'll just close that position. and now they're contributing to the selling pressure, and now it's just going to fail through the support line. So let's watch and see. If it does not fail support, I'd be surprised. All right, it's back down to 29.95 with massive red candles. I wouldn't be feeling too good if I was in right now. But people are going to wait. Usually if it dumps below, you'll see a strong sell-off kind of at once. So probably if it goes below 29.93. Yeah, there it is. All right. Stop loss is triggered. Some people buying it up thinking maybe they can get in lower. Now people are realizing it's going to keep going. And now strong selling pressure continues. Rejection wick. People are buying that up. I think people like the idea of buying 29 cents. And so we're seeing some additional, because don't forget, the FOMO buyers, guys, that are trying to play this smart, maybe a lot of those people are similar to how you're feeling right now. You maybe didn't have a position in the 30s, and once we got to 35, you're like, oh man, I wish I was in. And then, as we start pulling back, you're like, man, I wish I could be in the 20s. You'll see some of those people start buying as soon as they can get an average in the 20s. All right. But as they realize that they're not buying it at the bottom, they might begin to sell their position. And so then the downtrend continues. What we're seeing now is a slowdown at 29.75. That was the first major level of support here. And to be honest, guys, we could see a bottom right there, because the most important trend line, in my opinion, was the longer term one. And you can see that support is right at 29.75. That's the first potential stopping point. So you can start buying in there and just looking to average down if it continues down to the green zone. See this white line? Whoa, didn't mean to do that. Because right around here was supposed to be this is the trend line support. Partially my ADHD, I sell waiting for a dip, then I see it going up and my thumb hits the buy button before my brain says no. That is completely understandable. But that's why I do these streams every single day, to make sure that, every day that there's something happening to where people would want to be actively looking at the chart, because a lot of the people that are trading Dogecoin are not people that have been trading the stock market for multiple years. So it can be very easy to mess things up. Emotions are the key factor in people executing trades at the wrong time. And so really the goal of these live streams every day is to help people make money. And that's why I have the Discord group. Yes, it is $10 a month, $9.99 to join. But if you make one good trade, you will either prevent yourself from losing that $10 in the stock market, crypto market, or you'll make, that or 10 times that or 100 times that very quickly from executing trades the right way. Just getting some kind of coaching. So yeah. All right. So, wow. Guys, I did not move that line. You see that? All right. And then Weeble said, actually, but you saw what happened there. It stopped right there the first time. Then Weeble kind of reset where it stopped. People are placing some assumption buys here at the trend line support. This is the third touch on this line, but you can see there's still some concern because of the weakness here. And I'll drop down to the 1 minute time frame. Hopefully it brings my white box back. Doesn't look like it's going to. Nor is it going to bring my trend lines back. All right. Bet. Cool, Weeble. Appreciate you. Yep, all my trend lines, everything. So I guess we'll stick to the 3. Hey, I gotta slow the Doge down for this one. Oh, he's kind of hitting it, to be honest. Okay, Doge. That GIF is going crazy. What do you think about Luna? I'm actually not familiar with Luna. I'd have to look that up, Louis. What's going on for Sod? Super Mario. Forgot about that. Cardano's 3K exactly. Oh, ETH is 3K exactly. Yep. I think that's going to be going down some more as well. Let's see where Bitcoin is. Is Bitcoin at 44 yet? 44.5. Okay. So Dogecoin's actually going to go down a little further here. Most likely, you could see a very, very, very strong H of Doom pattern forming here on Bitcoin. See this? And there we go. We're already selling off under 45. And so we're probably going to... I'm sorry, under 44.5. So unless we really hold here and reject, we're going to see this going down to at least 44 flat. So Dogecoin will continue, in my opinion. All right, and now there it is at the green box. So this is where we could consider starting to scale in. The catch zone right here. This is the most probable spot that Dogecoin will stop in, as you can see, right in this general area. If it goes under that, then you have room down to about 28.3. Now, Bitcoin is... Yeah, Bitcoin's almost at 44 flat, which was about where I thought it would stop. As you can see here, larger scale time frame. Bottom would be about 43.75, kind of right here at the top of this box. 43.8, with main support being at 44. Unless it's going to fail this upward trend completely, in which case it'll probably dump down to 42.5, which won't be good, especially if it then sells off harder. So, I think we're about at a bounce point here. There's not much more room to go. So I'm going to just draw this like that. That's the money zone, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. Up to 43.5. 44.5, I'm sorry. Oh, music stopped. Let's run that one back. I like that song. That was pretty good. 61 people in the stream. What's going on, guys? Doge Noodle says, appreciate you talking us through psychology. Absolutely. The trading psychology is the most important part of trading to understand. If you can understand that, it doesn't even matter, you know, if you know much about patterns and whatnot. Like you see on my chart, other than the, you know, excessive horizontal lines that I try and delete as often as I can, it's very simple. I'm looking for support, resistance, and trend. And the only indicator I use to assist that is the 200 EMA. Envu. Hey, I'm for it. We already knew this was going to happen, though. Not only because of what's going on next week, but because this is an uptrend and there has to be pullback to the trend line at some point. All right, and yeah, we bounced right out of the money zone. Hopefully, you guys were able to get a couple coins there. Now we're coming back to the actual upward trend line, and we're going to see if we can test and hold that as support. It looks like that could be a reversal candle. And I should have placed a buy at that. Actually, before it's too late, I'm just going to go ahead and follow my own advice that I'm giving out. And I'll trade with y'all. So, on this pullback here... Wait, sending order? For what? I opened my Robinhood. It said sending order. I had no order. I'm going to go ahead and start scaling in. Because that was highly likely to be the reversal point. So what I'll do is go back to Bitcoin really quick. That looks pretty strong. I think we'll at least see a bit of a bounce here. So I'm going to go in like 75% instead of 50. And I'll just be willing to sell it if it comes back to me. That'll be my strategy. Yeah, that was a pretty strong bounce. Double bottom, rejection wick. Yeah, I'll do 3/4. I probably would have felt a little better about 50, but 3/4 is fine. Because this is the account I don't want to really mess around too much on anyway, so I don't want to place too many orders on that one. So I'm in 75% and just going to wait and see what happens. Thing is, when you buy near the bottom, guys, you can wait for the bounce. Like I said, you can wait for the bounce, see what happens. If it looks wrong and starts coming back down, you basically break even, just selling back at the bottom. And you don't have to worry about, setting a stop loss way under you. And then if you sell at the stop loss, you're now in the red. If you buy at the bottom, you can sell at the bottom if it looks wrong. You can just sit back and watch the show and see what happens. All right, now we're getting a strong bounce. Really want to see what happens as we get towards 40, 45. There's still a chance that, it stalls out here, comes down, makes a lower low. We did buy in towards the top of the money zone here. It was still the money zone, which means it's still the buy area, so it doesn't really matter, but that doesn't mean that if we were wrong, it won't pull back and go a little bit lower, which is why you just scale in if you don't feel like you're at the bottom. That way, if you're wrong, when it comes back down, you don't have to panic sell. You can just scale some more in. And if you were wrong altogether, you've only lost a bit of money if you just want to close it there, because you still were buying towards the bottom of the overall move. We're seeing very big green candles. Good sign. Dogecoin right out of the dip zone. Perfect loop. All right, and don't forget we drew this box when this gray box has been drawn for hours, and this green box has been drawn for like 20 minutes. It's just TA. All right. If you don't believe me, this message here in the Discord group, this was plotted out at 1:20 p.m. my time. That was 5 hours ago. All right. This box has been here. This is just technical analysis. And like I said, we talk about this stuff in the Discord group when I'm not streaming. So if I'm not live or something, because there are some days that I'm not live, if it looks a little slow, but if you want this kind of information pretty much 24/7 at any point, you ask a question, you get an answer. That's what the Discord group's for. But this box with this zone 28.3 to 29.80 or 29.50-ish with the potential dip zone buys has been mapped for 5 hours. And that's exactly where it reversed. So, again, it's not, me being anybody special. It's just an experienced trader, technical analysis. That's what you get. Right there at that first circle we drew. So that's cool. What other music we got here? I'll look at the Harmony one. Harmony. Is that a crypto? Harmony? And if you're going to the 4-hour time frame here, you can see this is a massive rejection wick, which could mean and here's the thing. There's two good things about that, guys. We touched 30 here, had a bounce. It was obvious some people wanted to buy the 30 dip. We then went under 30 and rejected back out to above 30. And in doing that showed we didn't want to be in 29. All right, that's one psychology thing. Massive rejection wick under the 30 level meant we didn't want to be in there, and so we rocketed back out with this massive wick that's forming. At the same time doing that, psychologically getting out of the 29, we also got back above the ascending trend line, which means we didn't break our downtrend because we went under it, and then we just rejected that being under it and went right back up. So if this candle closes like this and we start going green, that was probably the bottom, and now we're going to probably continue the uptrend. At least another bounce, and there's plenty of sell opportunities after that, 32, 33, whatever. That's why we talk about the lowest risk buy. Place it. If you're trying to be active, place the low risk buy, and then trade accordingly after. There's no reason not to buy at the bottom. That is the goal, right? Hopefully that's everyone's goal. Skylar says Hedera Hashgraph, H-bar is the future. I know some people were talking about H-bar, seem to like it. Cool, and now we just get to sit back and see what happens here. And like I said, I'm only 75% in because I didn't quite know if it was going to be the actual bottom. Because being under 30 obviously is a little scary. So that means if we get a pullback, still looks strong, I'll dump the other 25% in while I'm still in profit. That way now if we go down from there, I'm still in profit. All right, so I kind of just want to see what happens at 30.50. If we can break above 30.50, we're back making higher highs. And you'll see we'd have done a bit of a like an inverse scenario here if that happens. You know, if we kind of get that. You know, you make a low, a lower low, and then a higher low, and then a higher low. And on that second higher low up here at confirmation is kind of where I'd place that buy if it bounces and looks good. Probably somewhere like here. We'll see. But then, if we're wrong, it's okay because it was low risk and we bought at the bottom. So that means now we can just wait and see if this pullback comes back to here and then starts selling back under 30s. Then we're like, maybe it's not going to hold above 30, even though it looks like a good bounce. And then we can still sell in profit or at break even. And wait for it to continue down. There's no, like, you can't go wrong doing it that way. Doom, 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 doom. All right, so we're seeing how this plays out. I would have liked to see us get a little higher because we're only at 30.15. Now, this is not, the thing is, be patient, right? Sit back, try and sit on your hands and do not make early decisions for no reason. There is no reason for me, though I'm in profit right now, to say, oh, it looks weak, I'm just going to lock this in when I'm barely even in profit, because if I'm wrong and these are just candles playing out and then suddenly there's a burst up, now I have to look for a re-entry up higher and I've messed everything up. So being an active trader does not mean you have to buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell constantly. Like, you want to play it smart and you have to let the price action play out and let it tell you what to do. Don't start like trying to overread into it. Anything you do, it should be based off something very obvious. Be very obviously right or very obviously wrong. Not just trying to guess off each candle. That's not how it works. And that's why I don't even have the 1 minute time frame on either. Doesn't really matter. All right, so just a little pullback. Indecision here, which is usually not a great sign. We're indecisive at 30.12. So just mentally, I'm already preparing myself that there's a high chance that this does not hold. All right, but that does not mean I'm selling yet because I need the price action to tell me I'm not holding. I'm not just going to start trying to take guesses at it. But you can already see we did make a higher high than where we were right here. So that is overall a good sign. Our lows here are still holding above the lows from this dip as well. So that's good. I am running out of time though, so I'm gonna have to cut the stream soon though. But it's been a good one so far, guys. Glad to have been able to stream this long and help you all out. hopefully you've at least gotten the idea of what I'm saying here. And I'm glad to see 2 people join the member group today. That's awesome. Welcome to the Discord. What I'm gonna do in there too soon, guys. One of the things that I mentioned, like there'd be some revamps going on pretty soon. There are gonna be some like Discord group only streams that happen every once in a while, especially on days where I wouldn't normally go live on the YouTube channel, but there might be a thing or two to talk about. So that'll be another perk. Basically, the perk of joining the Discord group is access to me anytime that I have my phone on me and I can look at it, which is often. So basically anytime I'm not streaming. And access to other people that take trading seriously. And a lot of the guys in there, like Preezy, Rick, you know, they've caught on really well and they can give good advice as well, even though they're relatively new. Cool. All right, so Preezy says another H of Doom. Not quite yet. It didn't finish playing out. And now what we're seeing is finally a green candle. So the indecision is people that didn't buy here, waiting for confirmation of support here, making sure we don't break back down, and they want to see continuation, making higher highs on the way up. So that's what this buy is. And then you've got the people being even more conservative that are going to wait for a bounce to 2050. And then you've got people even more conservative that are going to wait for a bounce here. And then finally, you've kind of got people of the FOMO group that will start buying in here. And then after that, we're definitely heading back up. But I'm in here. It's fine to be in here, but obviously it's more risky. I learned from you. Appreciate that, Rick. And Dr. Derbs. Thank you so much for explaining things today. Absolutely. Glad to do it. I always freeze up when it's time to take profits. Yeah, that is common. Very common. Because there's always the fear, what if it continues? That's why one of the things I used to talk about all the time when I was like teaching a lot of you that are, now I don't have the need to say the same thing over and over, but just kind of giving you guys the idea of like how to trade psychologically correct is plan your trades out in advance. That means planning when you're going to buy, but also when you place that buy, start looking at places where you would want to sell. You have to know how active of a trader you want to be already before you make that decision, because that's going to influence that answer. So first you need to figure out, how much do I want to even be messing with this thing? Do I want to just buy it now, maybe average down once and let this thing fly for a couple months? Do I want to be maybe doing a buy and sell once a week, once a day? And then based off that, start thinking, well, where do I think this thing is going to stop at within that time frame? So by the end of the week, looking at the charts, I don't think this is going to go any higher than here. So I'm going to plan to take a sell here if it hits this target. As long as it doesn't look like it's going to just keep flying by, I'm going to take a sell here. And if you have a problem with locking in your profit and selling once that time comes, one of the best things you can do is start trading, or start planning the next step after your sell. So say I'm going to sell if it hits this point, and if it still looks good, I'm going to rebuy at this point. And that will make it so that you don't feel bad about closing your position, and you'll get rid of that FOMO, because you'll already know what your plan is for getting back in if things continue to look good, but you were just being safe. So for example, let's just say I was trying to scalp super short term, and I said I want to buy here, and I can only stare at this chart for about an hour. So if we even go up 1 cent, I want to lock in that profit. But if it looks really good, maybe I'll get back in. All right, so that means I would have already planned on the way down, just like we did. I'm going to buy somewhere in this green box. All right, so place my buy in this green box, wait for a bounce up. And let's just say I decided if it got near this white line here, just kind of like how it just did, and I'm up a cent, I'm going to close. But then I could say, well, if it looks good, like it's really still looking strong, I'm going to wait for it to go above that, pull back, test it, and hold it. And if it bounces, then I'll make a buy here. Or maybe I'll wait a little longer. If it goes and makes a new high above this level, then I'll get back in right here. You know, once it goes up and pulls back to it and shows that it's not going to fall below it. So my plan would have been, in advance, wait for it to come down. Buy here. Somewhere in this area. All right. Then wait for it to go up to at least somewhere around here. And anywhere from the kind of this point up, I'm up 1 cent. So I'm willing to take a sell whenever it looks like it's reached the top. But I'm going to close that position out if it starts slowing down. So unless it's flying up at the speed of light and there's no reason to sell, you know, if it's just doing normal trading and it's starting, you know, it stalls out for a couple seconds right at my sell target, just gonna hit the sell button, get out, trade, execute my trade, and then once I'm out, I can start considering a re-entry if I think it's still gonna do well. So then I wait, and my plan B, whoops, is now I'm looking, well, now my re-entry plan. So that's going to be if it continues up and it comes down to here and it holds and it looks good, I'll place a buy in here and then wait and, you know, trade this next leg up. Or if it looks bearish, but I think it's going to hold, maybe my next buy-in will be right here at the pullback of support. And so this is my plan B trade, already planned out and ready to be executed. So just trading like that eliminates the FOMO because you already know what you're doing, why you're doing it for, and there's no fear of missing out because you already have your plan so that you don't miss out. But you're doing it the wise way by having a plan around it, not just going off emotions like, ooh, I want to get back in because I'm feeling like it's going to keep going up, so I'm just going to go buy. This way you have a plan based off technicals and probability. So, thank you for what you do. Appreciate that, Lionheart. No problem. Zachary says, so we're still in the upward trend? Technically, yes. We are still in an upward trend because if you zoom out, look at the trend lines, we did dip below the upward trend very briefly, but then we rejected, and now we're back above it. So that's just a classic rejection wick there on the trend line. We're still doing well. All right. So that trend line, the aggressive trend line, the main one, we're still respecting. And the more conservative trend line, we're not even close to breaking below that. So yes, we are still in an uptrend. And we'll just trend channel this for some extra insight. Boom. We'll just do it this way. I can see, thank you. Cool. Oh, Zachary Villegas, thank you for joining the group, man. Welcome to the members only squad. So if you want in on the Discord group, which I'm assuming you do, all you have to do is go to the main page of my YouTube channel and click on the community tab, and there will be a link there for you. Appreciate the support and look forward to helping you out. Thank you, man. You just got my support. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It means a lot. Means a lot. Thank you. Thank you to Matt's Market, you, Zachary, and Dr. Derbs. Really appreciate the support today. And like I said, you know, this YouTube thing that I do where I live stream pretty much every day, you know, 7 days if it is warranting 7 days or very close to it, at least, even if not. It's really just to help you guys out. YouTube doesn't pay me for this, even though sometimes I have ads on. It's just so if one day I get a lot of views, everyone's already used to it. But, you know, with a couple hundred views, If you keep in mind that YouTube's pay rate's usually anywhere from like $1 to $5 per 1,000, yeah, you can do that math. So if I get $2 for a multiple hour live stream, that's probably a good day. So YouTube doesn't really pay you for these things. So it's not at all about making money. It's just really to help people out. One day, if I'm a big enough YouTuber to where it can kind of supplement or even replace my 9 to 5, that would be cool. That way I can focus even more on helping you guys out. But it's never been about that. So even joining the Discord group, the reason it's paid is just so that the people that join, we know that everybody's serious and takes it seriously. So I just don't have like 1,000 people in there and, you know, none of them actually care. They're spamming, whatever. So really just keep it filtered. But it does also help me out. So I appreciate the support. Thank you. Cool. So we are rolling. And so this is why we placed that dip buy here. Your second opportunity was at the pullback test here at about 30.10, but you know, this was just a much better spot to buy. So now what I want to see personally before I throw my other 25% in, even though it's not much, is I want to see a test of this support here. Because yes, we are technically now in a short-term uptrend, right? But longer term, we're also in a downtrend. So we want some confirmation that we're reversing course here. Because longer term, we are, like I said, we're in a downtrend if you look at any of the longer term perspectives. All right. And so now what I'd like to do, because I can't really see this here, is maybe go down to the 1 minute and look for a test of 30.50. We did get a candle pull back to that. I kind of want to wait till the next candle, just to be honest. I don't like getting faked out, guys. I'd rather play it slow than anything. See? That's why you want all that stuff out of the way. Even if you're late, it's better late than wrong. Okay, and that looks pretty decent. So what I'm going to do now is just prep to go in the rest of the way and kind of wait for this candle to do its thing. But I'm not going to jump on it because this candle could still dump. But that first candle with the rejection wick was a good sign, so I am ready to do the rest. And I'm up $30 already, which isn't much, but like I said, I'm not trading with much on this account. But that was just from 29.5 to 35, right? So now I have $30 of profit buffer. If it to just watch it come back down, if it ends up being wrong, and then I can cut at break even if I think it's not going up anymore. And I've lost nothing, placing a low risk, high chance of reward trade. All right. So that's 2 candles holding above. You can see we're kind of doing this curl thing here, so I do want to just wait. All right. I don't want this going under 30.49. All right, stopped right at 30.49. Rejection wick. Trying. Still a little weak here. You can see there's a lot of indecision here. I don't necessarily like that. But you know that feeling, I don't like that. You don't make trades based off that. You wait and see what the chart tells you. Don't start getting all emotional like, oh, I don't like that. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't, and then you just sell at a random time. Because it can always change. These are 1 minute candles. So there's still the rest of this minute for this candle to change course. All right, we stopped right at the trend support. People didn't like that, so now it's starting to dump. And that's why I didn't, even though we were looking like we were trying to hold, that was not confirmation. Not yet. Okay, rejection wick at 30.45. Coming back up. Sounds like me. All right, so now we're stalling out at 30.50, showing it as resistance. That's not a good sign. But like I said, these are 1 minute candles. Anything can happen before this minute's over. It's really how the candle closes that's important. All right, another rejection wick at the 30.50 level. We'll have to see how this candle plays out. The start of it was not ideal, but like I said, it's the close of it that matters. Jason Levin says, so far, this is really the first trade that I'm being successful at, and I really appreciate your help. Normally, I just hodl. Nice, man. So glad to hear that. No problem at all. Glad to hear you're doing a good trade here. It's awesome. And so this is why you wait, guys, because if you get emotional at these moments, this is where noob traders get faked out. Like, oh, no. And this is part of the problem with buying up high, is you start to get really emotional here, and then you start looking at your technicals extremely, like, literally, if you know what I mean. So you're like, oh, looks like we just broke under and closed under 30.50. That was my stop loss, so now I'm just going to go ahead and cut. Next thing you know, it rejects and it gets strong. All right, and then you're sitting out, and that's why it's just better to buy at the lower levels of support. There's less emotions to get involved with, and you can sit back and wait patiently and let these kind of things play out without feeling the need to do something very quick here that could end up being incorrect. And even though it was technically correct, price action loves to do these fake out moves. There's a lot of market manipulation, especially in the stock market. It's more common, but I mean, it does kind of trickle over to the crypto market as well. All right, but we still have to wait and see what happens. We're not in the clear yet. This price action is still really shaky. People are very unsure about whether or not we're going under 30 cents today to stay. So, I'm still holding on. I'd like to see what this red candle here does. If it's not massive, I'll go ahead and just dump the other quarter of my position in. There's no reason not to. We're holding okay. But if this red candle's massive, then I will probably just wait. Because like I said, most of my position's right here, so I'm already in profit. It doesn't necessarily matter if I'm wrong about this 25%, but I'd rather not be, of course. 30, 44, 80, 115, 189 Doge price prediction. I like that. It's very bullish. Rejection wick. All right, let me just take a look. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't. Now, this is going to be a little risky. Let's see how this candle closes first before I even say that. Still pretty big red candle to green. And we closed at the bottom of it. So now we have to see what this candle is going to do, because you'd want this green one to kind of engulf the red one. See how it's just going candle by candle, play by play? Patience is everything, and taking your emotions out of the trade helps with patience. And what helps with taking your emotions out of the trade? Buying at the right spot. All right, and now you can see, looks like now it wants to do a double fake out. Faked out here, faked out here. Now it wants to come back down under again. What I'm actually going to do to get a better perspective is just draw another line here for mental purposes. I heard a da-da-da. Heedful Seeker 71, thank you for subscribing. Welcome. And ASAP the Thriller, thank you for subscribing as well. I think I forgot to read that one. As well as Tony. Appreciate it. And this is why I drew the purple line. I don't want to get faked out by this level anymore, mentally. And if it goes under that, then I know there's probably a higher chance that we're kind of doing a downtrend, at least pullback here. You can see there's some inner levels. You've got one right here. You've got one right here. But I only draw out key levels. The less important levels, you shouldn't really clutter your chart up with. So if we get stuck in this little range here, support, resistance, yeah, all right. That's why I held on to that 25%. Wasn't feeling too good about this. But we'll see. It could stop here, loop back around. Christian J, thank you for so much for subscribing, man. Welcome to the channel. Oh, we're only like 19 away from the subscribe goal. That's pretty cool. We've got like 2 weeks to go. Thank you guys. I was just trying to get to 3,500 this month, so that's awesome. Thanks for locking in the channel. If you are not already subscribed and you like the content so far, consider showing your support and click subscribe. These streams are usually 7 days a week. If there's a slow day, I usually take that day to take off and do some more research on new cryptos. All right, and there we go. There's that reversal at that point right here that I was talking about, this candle. But the reason I don't want to draw that is because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to place a buy right here. It's too weak of a level. I will wait for that reversal and wait for a pullback and a test of an actual strong level that I care about and then enter there. I'm not going to enter at this weak spot. Yeah, absolutely, Zachary. You can now see it's hitting that strong level of 3050 as resistance. So this doesn't mean anything yet. And you notice how perfectly this plays out in between the key levels that we draw. It's not because I'm a rocket scientist. It's just once you get the TA down, you know what's important, what's not. Then it makes you feel like a genius. So that's cool. All right, and there we go, rejecting the resistance. And we are now making lower lows and lower highs. So if this candle closes like this, which it looks like it absolutely will, because that's massive, this would kind of be the signal of now a downtrend starting from 3060. So what would be a good idea is to kind of zoom out, get rid of this extra stuff here at this point so we can see again. Just take a better look at what we've got going on. It's always good to keep your chart as clean as you can. If something's not relevant at that moment, try and delete it. You can always redraw it later. So what I'm even going to do is get rid of this line, because I just want to see what the trend is a little better. All right, so you can just see overall what we just did here. And if you look at it from a more summarized perspective, guys, then you'll see this. Lower a high, a lower low, a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. All right. So if this stalls out here and does not make a high, if it doesn't break above here and then start heading to break above here, we are still in a downtrend. We're just making levels to it. So if you wanted to short-term scalp, you could have just sold here at the top, but that wasn't my play. I wanted to find a good spot to be in for a couple cents. All right, so when I executed this trade, the buy, I already knew what my plan was, and it was not to sell at 30.75 and get like 1 cent profit. It was to try and be at the bottom based off technicals. So if this is not the bottom, you know, I'll wait for confirmation of that, and then I'll sell it somewhere around the break-even point, wherever I decide that is. But I have all this room to play with before I lose money. So what I don't want to see is a low go below the low that I'm at, and then stall out somewhere like here, and then, you know, head back down. But even if that does happen, there is still the chance to buy it at this next level, which is around 28.3. So I think what my plan is going to be is just be a little patient here, wait this out, and see if we end up coming below, back into the under 30s. If we go under 30 and hit that as resistance again, so this spot right here, which is also previous support in two spots, if we fall below that and hit that as resistance, I'll probably just close right there at pretty much break even and wait to see if I can get a buy closer to the bottom, or even at this point, what's more probable is down towards 28 cents. So that's what I've planned out already. See, I planned my sell, and then I planned my rebuy. If I'm wrong, then I can still buy back in, you know, right at 30, barely have lost anything, selling here and just rebuying here. It's basically the same thing. But I don't expose myself to crashing by doing it that way. If you wanted to do a much shorter trade, obviously you could have bought here, sold here, or even sold here, anywhere in profit. But like I said, keeping it simple is somehow the easiest. It's sometimes the easiest way to make the most money. And the less trades you execute, the less chance there is that you're going to be wrong, because you're giving yourself less opportunities to be wrong. You're the first channel I see who seems to be giving live technical analysis like some. Unlike some, I meant. Thank you, Zach. Yeah, I will admit, just coming from someone who before streaming looked for content to just kind of watch in my spare time, especially a couple years ago when I first started. Yeah, there's not many people that do live TA. Which is a bit unfortunate. There are a lot of channels that constantly spam that Dogecoin's going straight to 40, 50, 60 cents. Technicals aside, just trying to get everybody hyped. And I don't necessarily appreciate that 24/7 because it's not always true. So I just try and be different. All right. So now you can see we're starting to consolidate and hold at this little inner level at 30.20, which we did hit before as support, so not surprised. Hit it here as support, hit it here as resistance, consolidated around there, here. But it does look like we still want to trend down. My eyes are on the under 29.9 level. 29.95. And what exactly is my average? So let's see. Okay, so technically, my average cost is 30, like almost 30 cents flat. I don't care about losing a couple pennies. That's fine. But my deciding factor is going to be a dip under what looks like a dip and hold under like 29.93. And if I sell at that point, I'll have maybe lost $1. Don't care about that. For the potential to be in with a perfect 30 cent or very close to 30 cent average, I would rather just play this out. Instead of locking in what would be $9 right here, I'll just wait and see if I'm in at the right spot. Because if I lock in $9 here, guys, and I wasn't at the right spot, now I have to look for another entry. So then I just messed up my whole play. And I have to kind of start all over again. See what I mean? Because now I have to look and try and get another buy like this somewhere like here. And I have to be patient all over again and spend even more time and then try and keep the emotions out of it, keep the FOMO out. Just keeping things simple means you're less likely to mess up. Tesla accepts Dogecoin. Look at Robinhood app. I will check that out, but I have heard nothing about that. Thank you, Kurt. Appreciate that. Tezos, I'm not a big Tezos fan. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I definitely have to work on my technical analysis. Yeah, it's definitely, in my opinion, the most important thing about trading crypto properly. Getting the technical analysis. Let me change that up. Getting the trading psychology right first, and then technical analysis second. You can buy a Tesla from a used dealer. Is there any article you can link? I don't see it on my Robinhood. Oh, Dogecoin holders can now buy a Tesla using Doge. Whoa. Oh, via Bots Incorporated. Okay. I don't know if that announcement is going to do it. But that is definitely a catalyst, guys, so I'd keep an eye, and that would make me a little more prone to buy in, just in case, because that could be big, you know, if people spread that news and they really take it as big news. But that's not, you know, it's great news, but that's not really the news with that people are like waiting on, like Doge for Tesla. The thing is, people want, because Elon Musk is the real thing, right? And it's one of Elon Musk's companies. That's the reason why they care. So we want from Elon Musk him to be like talking about Tesla's now accepting Dogecoin payments. So until that happens, you know, this third party way to figure out how to buy Teslas with Dogecoin, it's not quite the catalyst. Because technically you could probably already do that with something like BitPay. You know, third party ways to pay with cryptocurrency. So if enough people start talking about it, though, we could see a couple cent move. But I don't think that's the one that's going to get us up to where we want to be. We need to hear Elon Musk talking Dogecoin for Tesla natively. Yeah. Or at least talking about it at all. But that is good news. Cool. that's cool that they got that figured out. Oh, it was yesterday? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no problem, bro. Science. Yesterday. Gotcha, Michael. All right, guys. I do have to run in just a minute here. I've got something I got to do at about 7:30. We're getting close on that. What I will say, though, hopefully you guys were able to take a lot from the stream so far and what we've talked about and kind of get the idea of what we're looking at here. Hopefully you were able to buy at 29. Long story short, we're looking to see if Dogecoin goes under 30 cents and holds under 30. If it does, it is probably going to continue down to about 28 cents at the lowest. If it breaks under 28 cents, we're kind of now in a downtrend. And so I'd start to be a little concerned because that means we've broken all of our trend lines and support lines. And we're now going to be in this area here where we don't have any levels drawn. And the reason for that is because they're not the strong levels up high, the bullish levels anymore. So at that point, we're probably heading down. I would start looking, 26, 25, or even 23, probably at the very lowest. So we don't want to break below and hold under 28. But really, the bearish signal is breaking below 30. Then I'd be a little concerned. And at the lowest, I'd be looking for a dip down to like 28 and a half. Anything below that, like I said, is just a little scary. So keep an eye on that. I'll be on Twitter, of course, giving some updates here and there. But if you really want to be in the loop and chat with us after the stream, so you know what to do, what you're doing, and get some good advice, you can, just like the 3 people did today, click the join button on the YouTube channel next to subscribe, become a super member, and then you'll get a link to join the private Discord group where we're chatting pretty much 24/7 about like what to do, what we're going to do, and how to play it the right way. So that's what that's for. And then you also do get, as a member, a special discount code for 25% off all merch on the store if you also wanted a shirt. So that kind of works out. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. I do have to run, but of course I will catch you guys tomorrow in the next live stream. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks for the support today.